These are the facts. In January 2019, a man was detained during a raid at an entertainment center and his urine sample tested positive for THC, a dangerous drug. The sample was tested and confirmed to contain the drug, and the man was convicted of the charge and sentenced to 8 months imprisonment. He appealed and the High Court judge set aside the conviction and sentence. The prosecution appealed, and one of the issues raised was whether the failure to collect the urine sample in 2 bottles was fatal to the case. In dealing with the same issue, the magistrate followed the latest Court of Appeal decision, Rosman Sapre, but the High Court judge chose to follow an earlier decision, Nur Shariful Rizal Nur Zawawi. The decision, dismissing the appeal. The principles in Dalip Bhagwan Singh vs PP regarding the doctrine of stare decisis are as follows. A court must generally follow the decisions of higher or same-level courts. The Court of Appeal is bound by its own decisions, except in cases of per incuriam, conflict of past decisions, or overruled decisions by the federal court. Lower courts cannot rely on the per incuriam rule but may choose between conflicting decisions, and in case of conflicting decisions by the federal court, the later decision prevails. However, for criminal appeals from subordinate courts, certain sections of the Courts of Judicature Act 1964 must also be considered. The Court of Appeal has the authority to hear and decide on any appeal against a decision made by the High Court in criminal matters decided by subordinate courts. The Federal Court, however, has no jurisdiction over such appeals. The principles in Dalip Bhagwan Singh that govern the Federal Court are also applicable to the Court of Appeal in these instances. Therefore, when 2 conflicting decisions are made by the Court of Appeal on a point of law in such cases, the later decision will take precedence over the earlier one. The magistrate was correct in following the decision in Rosman Sapre, having been bound by the decision, and there was no reason for this court to depart from Rosman Sapre. Therefore, the failure of the police to collect the respondent's urine sample in 2 bottles was not fatal to the prosecution's case. However, the court found a major discrepancy on the date in the labeling of the urine sample bottle and no effort was made to correct it. Since there was no DNA evidence and no clear evidence to address the issue of contamination, the respondent's conviction by the magistrate was unsafe. Therefore, the court affirmed the decision of the High Court in discharging and acquitting the respondent of the charge against him. To know more,